Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name is Mark Wehner, the second team leader at Champions Real Estate Team. Every Wednesday we jump on here and kind of go over what's gone on in the real estate market in the last week. As always, joining me is Russ Williams with Williams Mortgage, so appreciate him jumping on with us. Give you kind of rundown about the graphics that we typically use every week, so just keep it so everyone understands, knows exactly what we do every week. So new listings over this last 7 days, we had 305 new listings go live. Last week we were up about 450, so we're down a little bit. So I think basically weather got nice. A bunch of people shoved a bunch of listings out there, which is great. New contracts are up about 60. So there's probably only 50 of those houses left that basically were on the market last week as far as regards to the new ones that came out. Sold homes at 233. So I mean, we're seeing some pretty good traffic. Obviously, wore my orange shirt today because obviously we're pretty much almost in a blizzard today, so I want to stand out a little bit. But that may hamper a little bit of our new activity coming on this week. But so we'll jump into the 30,000-foot view of what's going on in the Omaha and Lincoln MLS, the multiple listing service. So our numbers are down a little bit from the previous week. So we have 2,158 homes in the Omaha and Lincoln multiple listing service. Breaking that down is down in the Omaha metro area, Douglas-Sarpy County. 1,258. That number last week was probably about 100 more homes. Our existing homes for sale is at 384. So that's down a little bit as well. Obviously, all the numbers are down just a little bit. And new construction about 874, about the same. Months of inventory went down a little bit at 3.3. So basically 0 to 3 is a seller's market. 3 to 6 is kind of what we deem like a neutral market. And 6 or more months supply of inventory is basically where we're looking at like a buyer's market. Our average sold price is still right around that 320, 319, still up a little bit from obviously this time last year. But what we're seeing, I think these existing homes, as we look at what happened last year, I mean, interest rates were low, obviously in that regards, and inventory obviously stayed low. I think that, talking to other agents and masterminds and other agents around that I've been networking with, there's still, I talked to an agent this last week. They had a house go live on Friday. I actually went and previewed that house because I have a listing in the same neighborhood come up. That's coming up on Friday. It's a great tri-level house over off 161st and Giles. But talking to that agent, his house was listed at 280. Needed some updates, carpet, there's the little things at that one. And he, told me that they had about 15 to 20 showings over those 3 days, ended up with multiple offers. Ultimately, they can't disclose what they got on that house, prior to closing. But just looking at that traffic in that price point, in that 250, 300 price point, to see in the middle of January and he's having 20 showings, that's kind of where we left off. At the end of the summer last year, I think when we saw the roller coaster ride of the interest rates getting up to 7.5%, now we're down, right on that 6, just a little below depending on the day. And Russell catch us up with what's going on that. But I still think, as these rates, potentially come down a little bit more, you're going to get more houses come on. You're ultimately going to get more buyers. So even though we're going to get more inventory, I think we're going to be in that same boat that we were in last year, where inventory is coming on, more buyers are coming out to buy those houses. And it still looks like we only have 2,100 houses, throughout the way. And we have 300 existing homes on the market. And it looks like we got low inventory, but we're going to have those houses pick up in that regards. But I think that, it's still a great time to buy and sell. Buying right now, getting out before, the big wave, I would say, that typically historically comes out at that April timeframe through that process of it. But let's jump in with Russ and kind of see what's going on in the interest rate side of it and go from there. So how are we doing, Russ?
Mark, the weather outside is frightful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to echo what you just said. We are seeing more buyers coming into the marketplace right now, and at certain price points, especially the lower price points, multiple offers are not uncommon. We had several last weekend that were multiple offer situations, and so it's important, if you're thinking about buying a home, jump in the market now. Give Mark and his team a call. As far as finance rates go, and part of the reason why we're seeing more demand and more buyers re-entering the buying marketplace is that interest rates are continuing to show signs of improvement. We're sitting just off of 4-month lows for interest rates. Keep in mind, mid-November, we saw interest rates somewhere in the low to mid 7s, and they are now moving generally in the low sixes, possibly heading lower. We had some decent economic news the last few weeks with the consumer price index, which is a measurement of inflation at the retail level, came in a little bit below the expectations. And just this morning, the producer price index, which is a measurement of inflation at the wholesale level, came in well below expectations. Later this month, of course, we'll have the PPE report, the producer price index, which is what the Federal Reserve Bank likes to watch. And so we're expecting that probably will continue to show signs of improvement as well, with inflation moving down, moderating some. And that's going to be very favorable for mortgage rates. Keep in mind, the Federal Reserve Bank, they're charged with keeping inflation and growth at a controllable level. They like to see inflation between 1 and 2%. We're running much hotter than that right now, but those numbers are improving. And a lot of folks don't realize, Mark, that when the Fed raises short-term rates, that doesn't mean that long-term rates will go up as well. The Fed is not done raising short-term rates. They have indicated that they'd like to slow the economy down more and faster. And that actually can play to the favor of mortgage rates. Why? Because the Fed is trying to control inflation, and inflation is the arch enemy of mortgage rates. So as we see the Fed continuing to make a little bit tighter on your credit card, your auto loan, your student loan, we actually might expect to see mortgage rates improve as we go into the spring and summer months. Having said that, as we've talked about many, many times, Mark, every 1% change in interest rates is going to change your buying power, your borrowing power, by roughly 10%, which means these interest rates we're seeing today give you 10% more buying power than the interest rates in November of last year. And if we can continue to see those drop into the fives, mid fives, perhaps, maybe even better, that might mean that you're up to almost 20% improvement in borrowing power. That's going to suggest that more and more buyers are going to enter the marketplace. So if you're thinking about buying a home, get out there now, while there is still great inventory and fewer buyers than what there might be next week, the following week, or the following month.
Yep, exactly. And yesterday I actually just met with a couple, just sat down to kind of get a game plan together for getting them in a house. And so we're happy to sit down with anybody via Zoom, in person, over the phone. Obviously in person or Zoom are probably better, so we can kind of go over some cost sheets and different goal sheets and things of that sort, just to get you in a position to be a homeowner. And I think that's the fun part I like about this job, is it's the coaching, it's the educational part, not just in sales of trying to sell you a house. It's why are you doing what you do, to get you to that point, whether that's getting you on a path to buy a house in 12 months, 6 months, 2 years, whatever that takes, get the information, because you don't know what you don't know. And, that's the thing I find out a lot about when I'm meeting with clients and potential clients, and just, they just, well, we don't know where to start. Well, the first place to start is to talk to an educated person that understands what you need to do, be it Russ from the financing side, or myself, from the real estate side of it, and ultimately putting the surrounding yourself, getting a team of people that can help you, whether it's a financial advisor, the mortgage loan officer like Russ, myself from a real estate standpoint. If you have credit that you need to get, have a credit person helping you with that to help do that aspect of it, to get you to that point. And I think that's the first step into getting that home ownership aspect of it. And we love to help you, sit down and chat with you with regards to that, and just get you on the path. So, and when it comes down to it from a real estate standpoint, I don't need to know your finances. So some people are like, well, I don't want to, tell you what my debts are and this and that. That's fine. I just want to help you move forward with the path to get to home ownership. If you're renting a house, I don't see those rents going down anytime soon. But if you get into a house, you lock your rate, your mortgage essentially at that, 30-year, and you're going to go up with taxes and insurance, but on a marginal level from that perspective. So I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add with it, Russ?
No, other than the real estate is still a great investment. We're expecting appreciation this year in this market. Can't guarantee it's going to be 15 to 20%, but also can't guarantee it's going to be negative. Expectation is going to be another strong year for real estate. The demand is certainly there. The inventory is still challenged.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody taking the chance to listen to us. And if you have questions, reach out to either one of us at my number, 402-672-7670, or give Russ a holler at 290-8936. And we got that great tri-level coming on the market on Friday. So see that on the Champions Real Estate Team Facebook page, and all over the marketplace and things of that sort, to get that great brand new homeowner for them. And it's been a great house, only 2 owners, excellent condition. in that regard. So listed at 260. So it's got a fenced backyard, tri-level. Air conditioner was 2019. So it's a great house. We'll have the information, everything up on Friday. So take care and have a great rest of the week. And stay safe out there if you're out driving in the snowstorm. So